Coming up on the Paper Talk today, is Sir Jim Ratcliffe finally going to be getting a stake in Manchester United? We're hearing that we are entering the final negotiations, and according to some reports, it could be done before Christmas. Let's check it out. Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford and it's very windy, so be careful out there because it's a bit dangerous. Loads of stories to get through, so we'll crack on. The big one, this is the big one, is Sir Jim Ratcliffe's takeover of Manchester United. Lots of outlets reporting last night. I think it started with the Times, it's been reported in the Mirror, it's been reported in the BBC, it's been reported in basically every paper that the negotiations are entering the final stages, and there is a push to try and get this deal done before Christmas, which obviously is in the next, 3 days? So there's going to have to be a bit of a rush if we're going to get that done. We know that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is going to take 25% stake in Manchester United. After the Glazers made that announcement, I think, was it 13 months ago, they were looking for strategic alternatives. We saw a bidding war go on between Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sheikh Jassim from Qatar. Now, it looked at one point like Sheikh Jassim was going to win. He wanted a full takeover. There was lots of reports saying that Sheikh Jassim had moved into pole position. However, it was Sir Jim Ratcliffe who ended up being a sort of the last man standing. Sheikh Jassim pulled out. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, though, who originally wanted to buy a 69% stake in the club, I believe, it was basically the Glazers' shares, now is going to take a 25% stake, but take control of footballing matters, which seems a step in the right direction. It's probably not what all of us wanted in terms of the Glazers still being around, but at least it's a bit less of them and a bit more of someone else. And so Jim Ratcliffe does seem like he has a plan. It does seem like he wants to get football people in charge of footballing decisions, which is something that has been lacking at Manchester United since the Glazers took over. We've had bankers in charge of footballing decisions, and it's led us to a pretty underwhelming 10 years since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. I mean, they only got away with it when he was around because of his genius, not because of anything to do with the Glazers. Since he's retired, the club has been a bit of a shambles. We've seen the training ground sort of go from modern to vintage. So Jim Ratcliffe reportedly ready to invest 245 million of his own money in the training ground. We know the ground here is falling apart. We've seen leaks in the roof and all the rest of it, bits of concrete falling on people's heads. I mean, it's an utter disgrace. And don't even get me started on the amount of money we've wasted on the football side of things on the football team because we haven't had a proper structure in place. So Jim Ratcliffe will reportedly bring in a proper structure. We know that he likes people like Jean-Claude Blanc, like Dave Brailsford, like maybe Paul Mitchell coming in as sporting director as well, and having a proper footballing structure and strategy like other clubs do that has been severely lacking at Manchester United. So according to many reports last night and this morning, we're in the final negotiations. If that deal does get sort of confirmed, it is going to take around 6 to 8 weeks to get ratified. Everyone's saying that don't expect he's going to be coming in here at Old Trafford giving the keys anytime soon. It'll take a little while for the deal to be ratified. It shouldn't have an impact on the January transfer window, unfortunately, which is, again, a bit of a mess because it could have done had the Glazers got their finger out. It's not Sir Jim Ratcliffe that's been dragging his heels with this one. It's the Glazers. They dragged out the negotiations or the deal between Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sheikh Jassim. Apparently they wanted around $7 billion for the club. That weren't happening. Now, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, from what we understand, is going to pay over the odds for his 25% stake, but it isn't quite valuing the club at the $7 billion the Glazers wanted. But it's been dragging on and on and on, and it's just frustrating because A, we want the Glazers gone and they're still going to be around, and B, we could have done this deal months ago and at least maybe had some sort of effects on the January transfer window. It doesn't look like it's going to. On the January transfer window, there's a couple of reports, I think I've seen it in the Imminent and in the Mirror, that Erik ten Hag may have to do what he did last season in terms of free transfers. He may have to do a bit of wheeler dealing in the transfer market this January if he is to bring anyone in. We saw it last season where he brought in the likes of Jack Butland, almost forgot about that one, Marcel Sabitzer, Wout Weghorst. They all came in on loans or free transfers. I think it was all loans actually, wasn't it? Because he didn't have any money to spend. Wout Weghorst became a bit of a figure of fun, but he did play a big part at Manchester United. He played a lot of games. I don't didn't score many goals, but it was a big part of a winning run as well. Let's not forget, and he helped us lift the Carabao Cup. Marcel Sabitzer played a little bit of a part, but then got injured. Jack Butland was just the third choice goalkeeper. So it seems as though, because of the lack of funds, because of FFP and all the rest of it, Erik ten Hag may have to do that again. Who's he going to go for? We don't know. We were talking the other day about Serhou Guirassy from the Bundesliga. Now, he's not free. He cost around 17 million euros, but he has been banging in the goals. I think he's got 18 in 14 games in Germany. He could be an option. Maybe a couple of other free transfers. We'll have to wait and see. It'll be interesting to see how Erik ten Hag manages the January transfer window. It's not going to be easy for him. If he's even here in January, let's not forget, he might not be. I know that sounds a little bit melodramatic, but we've got a big game against West Ham, we've got another game against Aston Villa on Boxing Day. If those go wrong, then I don't want to see Erik ten Hag get a sack, but you wonder what could happen here if there's a new owner or part owner coming in, if that is sort of confirmed before Christmas. I mean, I know it can't be ratified, but maybe Sir Jim Ratcliffe can have some sort of influence. He might have his own ideas. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Just feel that Erik ten Hag's under pressure. I hope Sir Jim Ratcliffe comes in and say Erik ten Hag is here until at least the end of the season. He ain't going anywhere. And that sent a strong message, not just to the media, but also to the players as well. Some players who might be looking, going, is this manager even going to be around much longer? I think that's what's needed. We'll have to wait and see if it happens. On other transfers as well, an outgoing here, Raphaël Varane. Reports in the Mirror that he could be going back to Madrid. Apparently, Carlo Ancelotti is open to the idea of Raphaël Varane going back to the Bernabeu. That's a bit of a surprise, really, isn't it? Because everyone's had this narrative and this comment about, oh, well, Madrid don't let players go for a reason. But it looks like, for no reason, sorry. We know why this sold Varane. He's past it and all the rest of it. His knees have gone. We've heard all sorts of criticisms and comments about why Raphaël Varane came to Manchester United. None of them really positive. But it would be quite interesting if Raphaël Varane did end up going back to Madrid. I'd be very doubtful this is going to happen anytime soon. Maybe in the summer, Raphaël Varane moves on. There was talk of him going to Saudi Arabia. I'm not sure you're going to see him go back to the Bernabeu. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. I don't expect him to go anywhere in January. There were reports a few weeks ago that maybe him and Casemiro could be going in January. I'd be very surprised if that happens. We are short of players. We have a threadbare squad. Letting two of our most experienced players go, for me, in January, would be bonkers, because you ain't going to be able to replace them. So even if you don't think Varane and Casemiro are the players they once were, they still have a part to play at Manchester United. And you could argue that when they're fully fit and everyone else is fully fit, that they're probably starters. I know Varane's been in and out of the team, but I think if Martinez comes back, Martinez and Varane would probably be your centre-back pairing. I think if Casemiro's fit, he probably starts every game. So I'd be very surprised if they went anywhere, but we'll have to keep an eye on that one. I'm going to wrap it up there. It's getting a bit cold. Don't forget, we are going to be in Dublin on the 28th of December. If you can get down there, if you're over there already, come and see us. It's going to be me, Joe, McCullough, Howson, and Wes Brown. There's a few tickets still available. There's a link in the description. Click on the link, get involved, come and see us in Dublin. We'll have a bit of a meet and greet. We'll chat to everyone, and then we'll do a Q&A with Wes Brown. We'll have a laugh. We did a show there last year and it was amazing. So if you can get over there, please do. We'd love to see you there. Don't forget as well to hit like, share, and subscribe. The preview for the West Ham game is already up on the channel. Go and check that out. I'll be back later on with The Brew with Stephen Howson and Uncle Webby. And I know I'm shouting, but it is very windy. I've been Jay Motti. This has been the Paper Talk. Thanks for watching.